Real ones know. Truthers truth. Guys, time for me to start jumping. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Edge.
How are you ahead of me?
How am I ahead of you? I didn't know you were here.
What follows light
Just
and
got you.
shadow
Hey, welcome.
is silence.
Oh my god.
That silence breaks. I am summoning you as a new age begins. I see sapient life turn to each other. They remember how to look to the stars. They remember curiosity. They remember how to thrive. But they have forgotten. They forgot we were here long before the Traveler.
Oh.
They forgot that they need us. But they are fated to remember. I will remind them. I'm sure you will. But not through me. Find someone else.
What?
What?
She's a guardian again? What?
My will is my own.
I'm sorry?
What?
All right, everyone, hello and welcome here to Bungie HQ in beautiful Bellevue, Washington. We have got an amazing stream lined up here to tell you a little bit about the Edge of Fate and the future of Destiny 2 as well. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, but no need to worry. As always, I am joined by some of my amazing colleagues here at Bungie to share some of the finer details of the stuff that we're going to be getting into today. So, how about we go ahead and get into it so we can show you what we got. Starting first with this gentleman on my right and to your left is someone that you've probably seen if you've tuned into our streams before or Vidocs, the one and only Mr. Robbie Stevens, Assistant Game Director here at Bungie. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Andy. It's always a pleasure to spend a day with you.
Yeah, it's been a nice time, honestly, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
always.
To that end as well, for anyone that doesn't get to hang out as much as we do, can you tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the creative and game directors for the game. So that means like I'm a vision holder and I work across the entire Destiny team with people like Allison and Dylan on the couch here to chart a new course for Destiny and a new future for the game. And just incredibly excited to be sharing with everyone today of what we've been up to.
Yeah, can't wait. We've got a big show ahead, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, as we move, right on down the line, someone who
This
again
is
is also
the first time they've done
opportunity
a
to join
live
us on these
reveal
streams
of the
as well.
game from a
He's
long
now
time,
firing some
'cause they've done
campaign guns like
Vidocs.
pro. Destiny's narrative
That is
director,
true.
the one and only Allison Lures. Allison,
Hello.
how's it going?
It's going so good. I'm here on a couch and I get to yell about Destiny with you. So
Not
it's a
bad
good day.
Yeah, honestly, I'll take that
I
anytime
love her so
can.
much. She's
For
so
anyone who
fun.
also hasn't had a chance to yell on couches about
Got the
Destiny with us
enthusiasm
or
we
hasn't
need.
joined us in the past,
Yeah.
do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Allison. I'm the narrative
hold on,
director
man. I
for
gotta go
Destiny
tab
2.
into the
And so that
McElroy
means
family
it's the job of
clubhouse.
me and
Oh,
my team to make
true.
you laugh and make you cry and make you go, whoa, I totally forgot
Third
about this thing
monitor.
from 8 years ago. How did they remember? It's
Damn
because
it.
we're good at our jobs.
It's true. Yeah. As someone who gets to sit in on the writers' rooms, I can now doubly confirm that. So thank
we
you for
love
being
having you
here.
there.
So much
Yeah.
fun. No, seriously, thank you so much. And of course, as we move right on down the line, the gentleman there at the very end of the couch, someone who is a friend to all Guardian kind, who's known
goat,
far and wide, a
DMG.
member of the Destiny Global Comms team here at Bungie, Mr. Dylan Gaffner. How's it going, Dylan?
It's going well. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for
Got to make sure to ask every time.
I appreciate it. I need all the help I can get. Well, to anyone out there who may not have accosted you on the wild world of social media or is just somehow meeting you for the first time, do you mind telling us about what you do here at Bungie?
My name is Dylan Gaffner, formerly community team, where we would go out, collect your feedback, translate it to the dev team, and then bring their information back to you, kind of be that middleman. Now I'm on Global Comms, so I'm going to be in more of like a puzzle piece organization stage of what do we talk about, when do we talk about it, why do we talk about it, and then just making sure we get the information out to all players.
Yeah, well, we all appreciate it. Thank you for always being the voice of the player inside our hallowed halls. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, now that we've kind of got the intros out of the way, let's talk about our new saga. Robbie, I'd love to start with you. What's up next in Destiny, and where are we exploring?
Yeah, so our first expansion this year, The Edge of Fate, is the start of a brand new
The Fate
multi-year
Saga.
saga called The Fate Saga. And so we want to tell a story about something older, about the nature of fate itself. Are we bound by it? Can we fight it? Because before the Traveler ever arrived in our solar system, there was already space magic here, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so ultimately, this is a story that we're going to explore one of Destiny's biggest mysteries and the foundations of the universe itself.
You're talking about the Nine, aren't you?
Who
Yeah.
told you?
I think it's
Subtle,
How did
I
you
know.
guess?
Yeah.
Tips you off.
We did such a good job with this
We
secret.
buried that lead, didn't we? Yeah.
Just a little bit.
That's, but I mean, to that end, so who and maybe more appropriately, what are the Nine?
Yeah, so buckle up. In the simplest description possible, the Nine are extraordinarily powerful beings that have been in the solar system for way, 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 way longer than the Traveler. We can think of them as being kind of connected to each of the major celestial bodies in Sol. So that's each of our 8 planets plus the sun. Sorry, Pluto.
It's messed up.
Didn't make the cut.
All right, fair.
I don't make the rules. Yeah, there you go. But the important thing to know about them is that this is why we're going to be so focused on the solar system for the next saga. We want to ask questions about our home that we've never asked before.
Yeah. So when it comes to the Nine, obviously, Eagle-Eyed Guardians have been able to spot references to them for quite some time, whether it be outright ominous or a straight-up game show in some cases. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about what we should expect from them?
Expect to be surprised. We're, like you said, the lore of the Nine really ranges from like Star Horse infinitely neighing to the Nine doing genuinely awful, awful things in our lore. And so the important thing to know about them is that the Nine are individuals. This isn't a collective. It's not like a hive mind. Each of them are kind of their own being, their own person in the loose definition of a person. They have different wants and desires. They can ally with different members and fight with different members too. In the words of one of our characters really early on, there are aliens, and then there's aliens, and then there are aliens, and that latter one is what the Nine are qualified as.
Fair enough. All right, so beings of obviously immense power, something that the Guardians have gone toe-to-toe with in the past. We've even faced off against the very embodiment of the darkness itself.
Yeah.
What could be tougher than that?
Yeah, so this is something that we think about a lot about because ultimately the Nine seek to free themselves at no matter the cost to humanity. And because they're extra dimensional in the ways that Allison are describing, they're not bound by the same rules that we are, that we've really experienced before in the game today. And so humanity and the Guardians, to many of them, are ultimately just bugs that can be squashed on, that they don't really care or think about beyond, achieving their ultimate goals. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the last 10 years, Guardians have really just been making their own fate.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Nine is challenging that. How are we going to deal with it?
Yeah, whether we like it or not, the Nine have a plan for us. And like you said, Guardians are really good at making their own fate and going out and deciding who they want to be. But what happens when them deciding to make our own fate is exactly what our fate is? Like, what if that was the plan all along? These are extra-dimensional beings. That means they perceive our reality in a very different way and can interact with it in a very different way.
It's like they're a move ahead in chess.
Weird.
But you were mentioning, obviously, the
How'd
Fate
they
Saga
do that?
is one of the subjects of today.
Whoa.
How long can we
How'd
expect
they
the
do
Fate Saga
that?
to last?
Yeah, so the
Oh,
Fate
that
Saga
is
is going to
second.
play out over several years, and ultimately, we know where we're driving this car. We know where we're going with it. But the conclusion of the Edge of Fate itself is going to leave you with more questions than answers, and it's going to be the catalyst into
That's
this new
good.
multi-year saga. Because we really want to return
That
Destiny
kinda looks
to
like
being
Venus.
a game about big
It does
questions,
a little
right?
bit.
And so the
You're
way we
talking
think
about
about
the
this is
second
about
image?
pouring jet
Yeah.
fuel into the speculation
That looks like a
engine of the
falling
game. So
thing.
we're going to be revealing a lot of ideas, a
Fallen
lot of
Vex?
concepts, and many of them we're not going to be answering immediately.
The colors
because
on
we're
that
gonna
make
be
me
telling
think
the
of
story
Io.
over multiple expansions,
Yeah.
and we're going to be giving you those expansion beats more times than we have before in the past.
I
And
wonder
so
if it's like an
the Year of
alternate
Prophecy
version
kicks
of
off with the Fate
Venus.
Saga, and with it,
That would be
humanity
cool.
is now set on a collision course with this celestial pantheon of the system that has been
Launches
been
July
here for a very,
15th.
very
That's
long
70
time.
days.
So The Edge of Fate
That is
launches on
not
July
hard.
15th. And then the second expansion of our Year of Prophecy is Renegade, which comes this winter. And then
Okay.
later in 2026, we've got Shattered Cycle and The Alchemist.
Okay.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of
What the fuck?
Again, the Edge of Fate. is
Okay,
the beginning
dude.
of This long journey of this awesome vehicle. We're all jumping
Whoa.
together, and it's going to take us to some new places.
That's exciting. So, with regards to the Edge of Fate right here in front of us,
Shattered Cycle?
you were also nice enough to bring the class something today. You've got some gameplay with you,
Oh
right?
yeah, we got some clips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should show those off.
It's
Check
a
it
All
out.
doozy.
right. This is where I start
Everybody
jumping.
shut up. Yeah, everybody shut up.
What?
Observe.
Okay.
Connect. Conceal. Guardian, I had a vision. Conform. Comply. Return. They just wanted to show us disasters. Observe. Connect. Conceal.
What?
I'm not human anymore. Return. Conform. Comply. No one else should know what this feels like.
What the fuck?
I'm. What?
Enough.
Oh, that's an exotic hand cannon for sure. Thanks, his hand cannon.
What?
Remove your scornful blindfold.
Oh, wait, that was a new strand thing. Wait. What the fuck? That's just a whole bunch of subclass shit. What the fuck is going on? Ooh.
All right, that gives us an awful lot to go ahead and continue to dive into. And here to help us go ahead and explore a little bit more of it, everyone, you probably noticed we've been joined by someone new here on the
observe.
couch. We are privileged to be joined by someone who's the originator of perhaps my favorite all-time Destiny emote, the one and only Dave Samuel, art director here at Bungie.
Go, Dave
how's it
Samuel.
going, man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For anyone who maybe for some reason somehow doesn't have that emote in their collection or hasn't seen you in a past Vidoc, do you mind telling us a little bit about what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, I'm art director on Edge
The
of
guy
Fate.
who makes the noises.
I work with the art team to
Guy who
visualize
makes
the
the
narrative and
noises.
design and kind of bring it all together.
It's a lot to bring together. Thank you very much for being here today. So with the Edge of Fate, it's obviously the first expansion in the Fate saga. Allison, I'd love to start with you, actually. What can you tell us about the Edge of Fate?
The Edge of Fate begins with an invitation, and we are invited, along with a very specific group of people, to a location, to a moment in time, for a very specific reason.
Very specific purpose.
Very
moment in
specific
time?
reason and purpose, yes. And the place that we're going to is called Kepler. And so you may be saying, now, Allison, hold on and hold your horses
You read
1
my mind.
second,
Yeah.
because the Kepler I know is the one that's way outside of our galaxy. What do you mean we're going to Kepler? And I say, like, dear friends, didn't you know if you look inside in Destiny's universe, the Oort cloud at the edge of the solar system, you'll find a little planetoid that also happens to be named Kepler here in the world of Destiny. And that's where we're going, to Kepler.
Super exciting. And this is kind of a, Robbie, we were talking kind of
It's
before the
within
show.
our
This is like
solar system.
like a first taste of something new, right?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is us just trying something new,
No, I'm with
expanding
Ryan
the
on that
universe
one.
of Destiny, creating new mysteries to uncover. This whole destination
wish you weren't.
is about exploring a labyrinthian world that took inspirations from things like Dreaming City, exotic missions, dungeons, and it's wrapping it all through a Metroidvania expired experience. And so at the heart of all of this, at the heart of the Edge of Fate,
So just like Animal.
player-driven exploration and
Holy
discovery
shit, this
of
is
an
just
exotic
like
world
Animal.
with brand new abilities.
So actually to even just maybe dig a little bit deeper, like how is the Edge of Fate going to be different from past expansions that we've made for Destiny?
Yeah, so at the global scale, when we're thinking about expansions in the Year of Prophecy and the formula of Destiny expansions going forward, first off, we're doing 2 expansions a year instead of just 1. And think of each of these expansions as a little bigger than something like a Rise
Dude,
of Iron.
these new
or
enemies are
V1.
insane.
And so both of these expansions combined
Oh my
are going to
God.
be even more expansion content than we've done in the past. And by delivering 2 of these a year,
weapon.
we're upping the pace of major world and
Unidentified
story events
combat
that
unit.
really matter to players and are going to be
Corsair.
pushing the Fate saga forward. And so We're trying radical new things, which each of these expansions. And so alongside
Force
this new destination of Kepler, this exotic world that players will explore with brand new abilities, we also have world tiers. And world tiers allow you to take on a higher level of challenge on the destination in order to extract some of the best loot within the release. But what's cool about world tiers is as you play through the mainline story and you play through the first couple of world tiers, you're going to unlock later world tiers. And as you're claiming these abilities, as you're exploring the world more, as you're discovering more within the release, you're putting these puzzle pieces together and you're figuring out how to solve all the mysteries on Kepler with different ways. And so you might play a puzzle in one way, a mission in one way, and when you're in these higher world tiers in the post-game, you can start to solve these problems in different ways that you couldn't before in the original playthrough. And so alongside all of this, we're also going to have a ton of quest content that we're rethinking about how we use within the game. And so on Kepler, there's some non-linearity within the destination itself. And so with a lot of our side quest content that is related to the critical path, but you don't have to play it. It's there for you to explore. It's driven by your discovery of the world. You're out in the field, you discover something and you pick it up, and that's going to help you explore the characters in the world of Kepler more and go deeper on that story. And so, yeah, again, this is all about us just looking at the formulas that we've been building in Destiny over the last 10 years, and some of them are really strong, but
was that the hunter that did like that weird shit?
I was about to say, what the fuck are those?
What you're seeing here with the first taste of the Edge of Fate.
Very cool.
Oh my, wait, what?
I love everything you just said. I was a little distracted by some of the gameplay we were showing, like exotic sniper rifle, I think I saw, kind of recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
Some enemies with a couple really cool twists, like, okay.
Yeah.
But then also there was a Guardian that turned into
Actually,
like a lightning
that's
ball.
Strand on Scorn.
So there's multiple new abilities that your players are going to be able to discover on Kepler that's going to make them navigate and look at the world in different ways. But the one you're talking about, Dylan, we see it as our premier ability, the Crown Jewel release, and that's called Matterspark. And Dave has joined us, and he's helps us take the vision of the narrative and the design and the art and smush it together in amazing experiences. And so I think Dave should talk to us more about Matterspark.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So there's this new source of energy on Kepler, this strange dark matter. So the Guardian binds itself to the dark matter using the arc powers within. You can think of the dark matter as like a medium, and the arc is this catalyst that will allow you to completely
So it's
change
like something all classes use.
Transforming into Matterspark lets you squeeze into tight areas, race around areas, jump over stuff.
Oh, man.
And it also allows you to
imagine them making like a Mario Kart game out of this.
Electric rolling ball of death, jolting and shocking enemies that come across your path.
Oh yeah, look at those ammo bars at the bottom, like under all the weapons.
But I mean, even just in addition to that, to look a little bit, wider, like how did the Matterspark ball kind of influence the world?
Is that the Gate Lord from
Yeah,
Venus?
the team really had to rethink
I think so,
what it is to build a destination with these abilities in mind. A simple hill becomes a ramp to get to a new space. A crack in the wall, it basically will reveal a whole new area to explore. It's also a new way to engage with enemies. Instead of taking a bunch of enemies head on, you can find a Matterspark pad, transform, turn into this electric ball of death, and then just start racing around the arena, dash over their heads, and flank from behind, and then really give the House of Exile.
Did that replace the melee, or was that already there?
It looks like a grenade. Was it melee? I thought it was a grenade.
So what are some of the other Kepler abilities that we'll be able to unlock while we're out there as well?
The melee.
So each of these Kepler abilities are a mix of dark matter and our Guardian's powers. So we have the Relocator Cannon, which is this new fallen dark matter tech mixed with Void. This is going to allow you to bypass laser walls, use these cascading relay networks, and just basically teleport around the world.
That's cool.
Another ability that we have is Mattermorph. This is dark matter mixed with Strand, allows you to manipulate the environment. You'll be able to basically push and morph and move geometry to create bridges,
So
open
Ark,
up doorways,
Void, and Shrine look
and
like
then
it's going to
also
be the
reveal
big three of
secrets
the
and new
season.
opportunities.
Yeah, so what's really important about what Dave is describing, and when we were thinking about building this world, it was all about like, hey, here's this new tool to navigate and see the world in a different way and solve little puzzles and mysteries throughout the missions, the free roam, and the quest content, and beyond. But also what was really important to us is that we lean into Destiny's first-class ability gameplay. And so with Matterspark, like Dave is mentioning, you're jumping, you're dashing into enemies to destroy them, you're doing giant explosions with them. With the Relocator Cannon, you're just blowing everything up with void explosions and graviton lance style like projectile, little secret projectiles. And then what's really fun about Mattermorph is you can just be like throwing these strange shurikens basically to just like delete an encounter before you then like start to morph the environment around you and move to the next area.
That's cool.
So it's just really exciting I'm incredibly excited about
The
watching
Winner's
players
Guile build.
just like solve puzzles and
Like
fight
Dome
encounters
Gods.
in ways that like we don't even expect yet, and see how they take on the destination. And just like I really want to emphasize, you're going to be upgrading these, and when you get into especially the post-game experience, it's going to unlock. There's something unlocked with Matterspark that really changes the way that you can play through the entire destination.
So when we're talking about dark matter.
Yes.
We have darkness abilities like Strand and Stasis already. Like, how is dark matter different?
Yeah, so dark matter and darkness are two completely separate things. They're completely different things. But dark matter does exist in our world. In the world of Destiny,
Yeah, it used to be
we
a
know
void
it as
thing.
being
I
tightly
remember.
connected to the Nine. It's what the Nine are actually made out of. In our world, dark matter is invisible. You can't really see it. And it wouldn't be very fun to make a destination where there's an invisible thing that you can't actually see. So lucky for us, on Kepler, there's a bioluminescent microbe that allows us to see all of this substance that's impacted this world so much. It allows us to see how it's impacted the plant life, how it's impacted the behavior of the peoples that we're going to encounter. And we can see how it has been able to bring these things that are kind of unstuck in time into this current location.
I do have to put on my drifter hat for just a second and, like, what does it smell like? What does it taste like?
Yeah. Dark matter smells and tastes like bleach and math. Yeah, it's true.
Cannot wait to get that chip flavor.
Yeah.
Get it with the sandwich
Did you
today.
say
after.
meth?
Zesty.
Yeah, should be good.
Bleach
actually,
and
so
math.
On the topic, too, of stuff in the trailer as well,
was like,
we heard
wait,
someone
what?
talking there. Can you tell us who that was?
Hold on a
Sure.
second.
That was Lodi. Lodi is a new character that we're introducing
Hey,
in
Lodi.
Apollo. Not in Apollo. We're
Dude, I know this
introducing
guy.
him in the Edge of
I've seen this
Fate.
guy before.
I want to give a special shout out to Brian Villalobos, who portrays Lodi and does a spectacular job. This character is fascinating. He's kind of a fish
Dungeon
out of
time.
water, but the fun thing about tropes is to kind of put a twist on them, right? So what if that fish that we pulled out of the water was the
We're
most
live reacting, Kenny.
qualified fish to be pulled out into the air?
I can
Down
see
for
it.
anything.
It's down for anything.
Yeah.
And what if that fish was kind of made to be pulled out of the water? I don't want to give away too much because this character is way more fun for the players to figure out what his deal is. But I will say that Lodi is very, very far from home.
Very fair, very exciting. So,
I do have to call out, too, before we started this, you and Robbie were talking about how Lodi is like a notice me character.
Oh, yeah. Robbie wanted a senpai.
I
yeah.
did. I wanted someone that I just wanted to spend much
Yeah.
time with on this new adventure we're going on.
Yeah, a friend that we can look
Right.
up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, yeah, notice me.
Okay.
Notice
Notice
me,
me.
Lodi.
Yeah, of course.
You
the
were.
right to
Notice me,
himself,
Lodi.
Or rather, Allison does. So, with regards to the characters as well, so is it a whole new cast of characters in the Edge of Fate?
No, we're going to see some new faces like Lodi and other characters, but we're also going to see some familiar ones too. Ikora is here. The stakes are high enough that she's here investigating what's going on.
Oh,
and
Zoe
as
Rock?
it turns out, in one of our major mysteries, she's kind of at the center
Oh, shit.
of it.
Are they
She
even
was
a guardian?
invited
I don't
here,
even know.
as was Lodi, same as we were. All of it's kind of tied together.
Very exciting. So,
Yeah, the way. If I can.
No, no,
yeah,
please,
yeah,
please.
like the way
Going
we
crazy
think about
over the
this is
armor.
about all
Yeah.
these characters. Their
I
fates
want
are
Lodi's
intertwined
armor.
in some way. There's
Lodi
these
looks
puppet
sick.
masters that have been pulling the strings for a very, very long time in order for everyone to get here at this moment. And so, as a guardian and these characters involved, they're going to have to decide if they're fight your fate. Like that's what we think about. For these individuals, that's what they're going to have to go through and determine about how they can stand up to this new conflict that is surrounded by the Nine, because they are fated to be here, and what does that mean for them, and what does that mean for their future and the future of Seoul itself?
So with regard to these new characters and this world we find ourselves in, was there anything about that setting, or in particular, that really influenced the creation, rather, of this world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah, I'll give you a list of fun facts. First off, if you've been paying attention to Destiny over the last week or so, you already know that there's been people on Kepler for a long time. That's an old-ass computer that you were putting those numbers into. We also know that the Vex are here. They're studying the Nine because it turns out the Nine can do something that the Vex can't. As Dave mentioned, the House of Exile are also here. They've become fixated on a being that they call the Giver. And kind of most importantly, the dimensionality on Kepler is really thin. So the 3 dimensions that we can know and see and touch are very close to the realm that the 9 live in. And that means some things from Earth's past have been yanked into Kepler's present.
Exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so we've been talking about invitations throughout this, and we need to call out an invitation that's actually going to be waiting in the game after this is over. Ride of the Nine begins today.
Yeah.
So I believe we have a trailer to show.
Yeah, you were nice enough to bring a trailer along. I'll go ahead and give it a look really quickly.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh, decisions. Okay. Oh yeah, Bangs.
Spireful Watcher is my shit.
I'm hoping Judgment is nice.
I am too.
That's short and sweet. Free for all players. What?
All right, so that's Ride of the Nine, which
Where'd
is
she go?
our essential
Fuck!
story for the Edge of Fate.
Disappeared.
And these
Gone.
3 dungeons that are featured in this event are free for all players starting today. And so what's really important about this is that these dungeons are both for veteran dungeon crawlers, hardcore raiders, people who've been in these places a lot, but also new Guardians who have never stepped into a dungeon before, right? What was really important for us when we were developing Ride of the Nine was that
We gotta
we
get
changed
Ryan
the
in those
formula on how we
Explorer
can
ones.
think about
Yeah,
how
we
we
gotta
can
help
welcome
Ryan out.
even
Ryan,
more,
this is for you.
even more people into these experiences.
this event
And
is
so you're gonna be able to go in
specifically for
solo,
Ryan
buffed
and
up,
his
and explore a dungeon
crippled,
by yourself, or
senile
go in
brain.
match made with other fire team members shoulder to shoulder for the very first time. But don't worry, because we also have that higher level challenge for our veteran, our hardcore
Wait, so you
dungeon
can
crawlers, where
matchmake
you're going to be able to
for
earn the best
one
possible
of the
Eternity-
exclusive
that's
rewards,
cool.
but also
Eternity
an
mode.
exclusive
Yeah.
title.
I'm definitely
I'm
gonna be
also
doing that.
terrified of that. I'm
What's also
terrified
really
of that.
important about
I
this
think
event
it's
for being a prologue for the Edge of Fate is that
unlimited
it
res,
really
so I think it'll be
reintroduces the
fine.
emissary
I would
into the
fucking
game.
hope
And you're
so.
going to learn why her job is pretty crappy and why she quits at the top of the Edge of Fate, like we
That's
saw
so cool that she
at the
quits.
beginning of this show. And so, Andy, we've been talking a bunch
one of,
about
like, Drifter's
how
X's.
our Destiny expansions are changing the formula for Destiny going forward. So now I think it's time for us to start talking about how the core hobby of Destiny is changing going forward. The day-to-day of playing Destiny, week over week experience. And we've got someone else on the couch here to help us talk about that.
We have an expert in that very subject now who's gone ahead and joined us
Is that
on the
fucking
couch.
Lodi?
We are now joined by the one and only Mr. Ben Womack,
That's him.
creative director here on Destiny. Ben, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, seriously.
There is a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good conversation we have coming up.
Yes.
But before we get into that, can you tell us just a little bit about what you do here?
Yeah. So I'm the Destiny 2 creative director for the core game, or the core hobby, as we call it.
Yeah.
And it has to do with all parts of the game, everything from Edge of Fate, through our seasons, through the fundamental systems. And in particular, like Rob was saying, I've been focusing on thinking about the kind of building blocks of Destiny 2 and getting those like not only stood up but also transformed and iterated on in
Gambit
some really
update,
exciting new
baby.
places.
Let's go ahead and just start at the top.
Please,
Can you tell us a little bit about what like the core formula of Destiny is changing and why?
Yes, so
Making
I think
Gambit
maybe I'll start
2.
with the why first, because it's important to think about what is Destiny.
Bringing
what's
back the
about Destiny.
Reckoner titles
Destiny is
to piss
best
off
when
its
you
cow.
have like
No,
awesome
bring it
chases that
back
you're excited
and
about.
allow me to
you have
gild it.
really cool, powerful builds to make,
Gilded
and there's a
Reckoner.
mountain to climb right in front of you that you want to
God
climb.
damn
Like,
it,
I
is
want
it
that
bugged?
mountain.
It's bugged.
It's pretty cool.
What is?
And the thing
drop.
that is not always true right now in Destiny is like it doesn't feel streamlined. as it could. Players don't have as much agency. You know, we want to be player-driven. We want to be more rewarding than we are. Because right now there are barriers to playing Destiny like in the best way. And those barriers are insurmountable sometimes. So think about that whole picture of, okay, what is the Destiny that we really want, that has been in the past, that we also want to get back to, and where we want to go for the future? That's where all the changes you're going to see have started, like at their inception point. So it's a big piece of the pie.
Massive updates coming across so many systems of the game, and this is like we're just getting in, digging into the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, to that same end, then, how are we making it easier? Pardon me, to go ahead and just get straight into the fun.
Oh no, let's do it, because that's exactly what we want to do. And the first thing you're going to see when you log into Destiny with Edge of Fate, you're going to log in your character and see your ship in orbit. It's going to say, it's not going to say Open Director. It's going to say Open Portal. And the portal is our new front page of the game. We're trying to get you to the fun as fast as possible, and as few clicks as we can. We even have Edge of Fate there in the corner, so that it's right immediately there. No fumbling around with the map to get to it, really. And
Solstice would be coming
other
up.
big parts of the game, the ritual game.
Oh God, yeah, it would.
Putting them into these ops categories. So the idea is that we're having these different
Event
ops for different
sharpshooter.
moves. We're having solo ops. Or have a bunch of fire team ops. We have Pinnacle ops, and of course we have Crucible ops. Still super important for the game.
Yeah.
That D1 concept.
To start off at the top,
oh,
can you
that's
tell us
so
a little bit
nice.
more about what solo ops?
Oh yeah.
entails?
So solo ops is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a bunch of activities that are made for solo players, and the conception point of that was we want to make activities for players who have a smaller amount of time that they want to play in, and they don't necessarily want to have dependencies on other players.
I've also got Crucible
They still
Ops.
want to get in there and play for 10 to 15 minutes and get some real progress.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah.
Get some loot and prepare for it and feel like, I played some Destiny and that was great. And
I like
even
focus
if you
farming
don't feel like
because
playing
gear
with people,
sets,
that's
we're gonna
fine,
need
because we
that.
have an activity type that is designed for one player.
Excellent. So, I mean, to that same end, what are some other ways that we can play and have fun using Portal as well?
Yeah, so Robbie actually has a great way of talking about this.
Yeah, some of the North Star that is what we talk about when we were developing the Portal early on was where are we headed with this thing? And ultimately, it's play your way. It's giving players more agency, more personal drive to figure out how they want to engage with the power climb and the new progression systems coming and our seasons. And so the entirety new progression and power climb is now all available to you in the Portal at your fingertips in one place. It's really easy to find, really easy to jump in. Anything you play inside of that category any of those categories is gonna help you make progress. And so, because we want Destiny to be welcoming not only to new players, but also old players who are coming back to the game to join us with the Edge of Fate. And we also want this to be a new even playing field for everyone. And so,
I like the colors.
as part of this,
I do
is a
too. The
commitment
Warlock
from us
robes are
as part
kind
of
of
the core
eating.
hobby and all the seasonal content we're building, that we're going to be continually investing in this, right? We're going to be continually updating this over time for years to come. And so, you're asking me directly, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
Ben mentioned solo ops. We also have the fire team ops and pinnacle ops. Both these are more around playing with other fire team members, shoulder to shoulder, where fire team ops are more quicker sessions. There are some longer form things in it too, but then pinnacle ops are more about those really long form or more challenging kind of focused activities like exotic missions, for instance. And so, and then the one thing we haven't talked about yet very deeply, but is incredibly important, and it's something that I think we've done for the first time ever, or maybe since early D1.
It's kind of a return to form. in a lot of ways.
You're going to be able to experience the entirety of the power climb within Crucible Ops by playing PvP, right? So this means if you want to be
That's gonna make
sweating,
a lot- that's gonna make a lot of
I know
people happy.
Dylan too. I know you're that way, right? I know both of y'all. If you want to put the sweatbands on,
Collision
you're
snow
going to
capture.
play
Okay.
the entire experience
I
in the
just know the-
season
the
here and earn some of the
Crucible
highest
motherfuckers are,
tier
like, foaming
loot
at the
that's
mouth
also
right now.
available.
Arms Week hardware.
I have to say, this is super
Is that
exciting
already in
because
game mode?
my player type or other folks out in the community, they want to go in, they want to jam on PvP, but then their friends invite them to do a dungeon or a higher tier activity, and they're like, oh wait, I need to grind a long time to get up to power. Now through PvP, they can get up to power, and you can just bring them into that PvE experience and have a fun time with each other.
Yeah.
So.
That's honestly how I primarily played D1, so I'm really looking forward to that. So it sounds like the core, obviously, of what you guys are talking about, play the way you want to play, is right at the center of all of it. What if I really want to challenge myself, push myself?
Oh yeah,
a little bit more?
That's important to us.
Yeah. So
Death's important to us.
Well, death, but also success.
Yes,
and
that's
creation
true.
from it,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we really want to give agency. That's one of the things. Player agency, player driven
Agency, yeah.
towards loot and challenge. And so we have a really hugely expanded activity customization system. We have a lot more difficulty levels, and we have a ton of new
Verdant
modifiers. We have
Spider.
50 new modifiers,
Whoa.
along with all the old modifiers that we've released in the past, that are going to make this big
Like his
curated
ultimate.
web of options for you to
Oh, wow,
experience
yeah.
any of the PvP
That's probably
content
all
that curate.
modifiers.
And so, like, we have Banes, not just old Banes that we have, but new Banes as well. We also have boons to help you like get
My
advantages
God.
in your activities.
Wait,
and,
are
and
they
for your
resetting
build. We
power?
have challenges and trade-offs.
Holy
And
shit! Oh my
the fun
god, they
part is
are.
you're going to get these different combinations
Okay.
that are available, and you're going to then make a mix that's actually going to change the way you play and be pretty interesting. And sometimes the way you prefer you play. Like there's a new boon called Grappler that I personally love. It's my preferred
Have
way to
my
play, where you
power.
give 3 grapple grenades, replacing your current grenade. You can't do the melee, but they recharge super fast. So any build you
Interesting.
want, you could now Spider-Man around any map. It's
Yeah.
actually super fun.
It's so fun. Yeah, and I mean, like, what's at the heart of what Ben is talking about is what we
So
kind of
they,
call
like,
the
boon to,
virtuous
like, do
cycle,
build crafting.
right? Where you're going to be crafting your build, tinkering with the activity, looking at like
Lose your
how
melee,
you
but
can
you get
earn
3 grapple
a higher
grenades.
tier of reward by taking on higher challenge. And as you earn better loot, you're looking towards that next mountain to climb, just ahead of you all the time. And so this is really about how far you want to push yourself upwards within the portal itself. But also, we also are thinking about the people, and that's the depth, right? That's the depth of the challenge that we're talking about. That's also, but we're also thinking about the people who don't have as much time to play with like solo ops, and also if you're scared of modifiers or you're scared of customizing these activities,
Or you just don't feel like it
doing
today.
it. Yeah, no, that's a great way to describe it. Thank you. We have a bunch of quick play options, right, Ben?
Yeah, quick play options, and we actually have matchmaking and Fireteam ops.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And we have Fireteam Finder, and so you're able to like really choose kind of what you're in the mood for.
Oh yeah, we
you know?
technically have matchmaking across every activity that exists.
Except for solo ops, because that's solo.
Right,
But
yeah.
yes,
Yes,
otherwise,
but in the
aside
Fireteams
from
and
that
Pinnacle
one.
Ops, it's everything.
Yeah, you'll have options to play by yourself or with other people. Oh, actually, a really fun part is you can play a strike by yourself as hard as you want it to
That's
now.
true, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit,
Fun.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about like all the different boons and combinations. I think at one point you were saying around 50 or something like that. Those
50 new
apply.
ones.
50 new ones.
Yeah.
So it's like you can take those into solo ops. Like we're
God.
talking about this being
50
kind of
new
leisurely,
modifiers
bite-sized
is a
activity. But
lot.
if you want to take it and say, I don't want Weenie Hut Jr., I want like esoteric level solo hardest thing in the world. Like you can kind of customize and do that.
You can just do it from the very start if you really want to.
Yeah.
And
Depends on how deep you want to go. Yeah. Really?
yeah, and the point is that
Or
you're
deep
going to
down the
like
rabbit
stretch that far, and we want the reward to feel like worthwhile.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, you want to feel like as you're pushing yourself, you are rewarded for it. That is
Yeah.
something that's really important to the vision here for the portal. Yeah.
Rewards, huh?
Rewards. There are a lot of rewards, aren't there?
Let's
It's
look
funny
at
you
some
mentioned it. Yeah,
rewards.
We've got Banes,
Let me
boons,
get 'em.
modifiers, but let's talk about gear for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
so
do you think about
gear.
loot and why should Guardians care?
Yeah, so like talking about
Makes sense.
chases and mountains and builds, like gear's at the center of all of that. And we actually have 2 giant gear changes I'm gonna like put in 2 little buckets for us to talk about.
Yep.
The first one is Armor 3.0. And the next one is Gear Tiers.
Let's go.
And so like talking about Armor 3.0 first, we are probably making the biggest change ever since Shadowkeep around
huge.
the system.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
enormous.
whoa.
Huge change.
Yeah, so like we're
Wait,
adding
what?
set
Did I say
bonuses.
damage?
The long requested feature for all the new armor that you're going to be able to get at Fate launch, and we're redoing all the stats on armor. They can now like exceed 100.
Go beyond 100.
Go beyond
Oh,
100
shit.
for extra bonuses.
Yep.
We're going to every single piece of new legendary armor that drops.
The
is going
Quad
to
King
have
is
all the
feeling
energy
some
built in,
type
so
of
you
way
can build
right
tracking
now.
Right away.
Yo.
And it's going to essentially like. There's more features actually that I
Speed
can talk
booster,
about, but I don't think I'm allowed
what?
to yet.
Fair. Well, something that we
Oh,
can't talk
man.
about too. You mentioned gear tiers as well. What the fuck? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so gear tiers are very exciting
this is
because
gonna be
every
fun.
single legendary weapon and armor that you
Be
get
gonna
is
have to
going to have
redo
5
all
gear
of my
tiers, going
fucking
starting from
armor.
1 going up to
Good.
5. And like we have a 5.
energy goes up to
gear
11.
5 piece of legs armor on the screen right now, and you can see that like this is like looks really cool with iconography, but it also has a ton more stats. And oh look, what's that?
Yeah, what's going on with the energy there?
Yeah, the energy.
Ben?
Yeah, that energy says 11, and it's true.
11. Yep.
It's not a typo. Like energy is going to
Oh,
11
wait.
for
Health,
armor,
melee,
higher
grenade,
tier
super
armor.
class,
so
and
if you want that
weapons.
for your build crafting opportunities, 'cause it does like give you some new options you never had before. You're gonna have to challenge yourself to get more higher tier armor and keep on going to get yet more higher tier armor to get those options.
Oh,
And
shit,
this is
yeah.
also not something that's just relegated to armor, right? When it comes to weapons, they're obviously getting their own refresh as well.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
What's Destiny without chasing some?
You read my mind.
Yeah, like weapons
seriously.
are part of the player identity. You know, so people like have a gun that they love.
So
And,
yeah, so we're doing
fashion,
weapon gear
and
sets
then you have
too.
gunplay,
Wait, pretty
That's
cool.
true, though we do have fashion for your guns a bit.
Hey.
Well, so because once you reach tier 5 for your legendary drops, you're going to be getting tier 5 weapons, and those have unique shader treatment. It's like essentially a completely different look that's going to immediately identify it to you.
Oh my
God, what am I looking
Giver's
at?
blessing.
It's going to show on the weapon. It's going to show on the icon. It's even going to show
Element
when you
is that
kill enemies
kinetic?
with that weapon.
Who the fuck saw, moving target adagio, rewind around high ground, shoot to loot, and multi-kill equipment? It's like, yeah, man, that's chill.
The weapon that is being used is like the highest tier you can get.
Yeah, Giver's Blessing, which I think we have on screen right now. This is one of the Kepler auto rifles, and I cannot put this thing down.
So good.
Yeah, when we're playing through the Edge of Fate right now, and it's what's really exciting about it for me is that like when you see that tier 5 drop, like you know immediately that's better than like a tier 3 or tier 4 weapon that you have, right? And I think that's when we talk about making Destiny easier to just jump in, find the fun, make it accessible, but also create more depth. You know, this is what we're thinking about. Like how can we just make immediate, like you understand, like okay, this is probably better than the thing I have right now, depending on what gear tier it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good example of how much time and effort is being put into these game systems to make them more like approachable.
I like this more than
change
crafting.
Can be scary. There's a lot of change that's about to come to the game. We're Armor 3.0. We have so many new boons. We have a bunch of new stuff. And after 10 years of Destiny, this is going to flip some stuff on its head. So, I mean, we're going to have a bunch of blog content. We're going to have interviews with Robbie, with Ben, with more folks across the team that have been working on this. And then we'll also be elevating our creator community when they're creating guides, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a fun time. But ultimately, a big shout out and thank you to all the folks that have been coming into our studio, giving feedback early on some of these systems so they can be more approachable. And we're looking forward to all the feedback that's going to be coming after launch too. Like this is again one of our first steps into something, and then the community and we are going to build something amazing.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough how much feedback we've gotten from the community summits we've been running over the last year for the Edge of Fate, and just people reaching out to the community teams and others to us. Like your feedback is invaluable. So like seriously, like thank you so much. We're making this game together ultimately.
Yeah, it's incredibly important part of the process. Like I don't think we would be able to make what we do without it.
Yeah. Working with the community is obviously a core part. Dylan, huge thanks to you and your team, obviously, for helping to lead that charge. And in advance for the big blogs you get to write. And then also our social media team will go ahead and get out the door. So go ahead and give us a follow.
I think, Ben, you were saying you wanted to try to break the record for longest twid?
I'm more predicting we are.
Yeah.
So it's not about try, it's the state of things.
It's going to be a multi-month journey as we head towards launch.
So. Yeah, be a good time. But, you know, we've been talking a lot about the core Destiny hobby. How does that extend into like how players are going to experience like a full year of Destiny?
Yeah, so we've been focusing on improving and changing the formula of Destiny in multiple ways. And so progressing through the Fate Saga is going to be more meaningful with 2 expansions a year. We've been talking about how focusing our seasons and on the core hobby of Destiny and that commitment to updating it. And in addition, we're going to have 2 free major updates between each of our major expansions in the Year of Prophecy and beyond. And so ultimately that means there's 4 big beats happening in a year, 2 expansions, 2 free major updates between those expansions. So what that means we're not doing is paid seasonal content anymore. We're not doing separate seasonal storylines. And this also means we're not building a bunch of activity content that basically just goes away and is less meaningful to the game after 3 months. So we're instead focusing all of that effort that used to go there instead into building up the core hobby.
Wait, December 2nd? That's my birthday!
Fresh, and exciting
It comes out on my birthday!
Ultimately, this means no more paywalls for seasonal content, and also these major updates themselves that I'm signposting around right now. The size of them roughly and the inspiration for them we're thinking about is like Into the Light.
That's fucking massive.
Okay. So when you say like Into the Light, for folks that
happy birthday
out
to
there,
you,
like,
dude.
For a major update, how big is that? Like, how do you encapsulate that?
So when I say Into the Light, a lot of this is like the inspiration of what it was. And with Into the Light came a really cool theme that wrapped around all the new stuff we were building within it, but also a lot of the Reprise stuff as well. And also, you know, with it came Onslaught, a new type of activity. It came with reprised exotic missions and a rethinking of how we could do like a rad style event, a raid event with the Pantheon. And so for our first major update coming a few weeks after the Edge of Fate launches, we've got Ash and Iron. Right? And so with Ash and Iron, we're going to be returning to the Plague Lands.
Returning to the Plague Lands, can't wait.
It's gonna
What?
happen,
baby.
And so that story is going to pick up from where we left off, from the Edge of Fate. And with it, we're going to have a new activity called Reclaim, a brand new exotic mission, new types of pinnacle ops entering that for the first time, as well as, of course, what's Destiny without loot to chase? We've got new gear, new rewards, and 2 new exotic weapons as part of Ash and Iron as well.
Because if
And
Raph's
again,
not
this major
there.
update and the season, all the seasonal content going forward is free.
If
for
Raph
all
isn't there,
players.
people
All
are
the
gonna be
activity content that
pissed.
exists in the portal that's free to play.
Oh my
So you can actually
god.
go one quick layer two deeper on seasons as well. What are some of the cool things that we're going to be able to do with the season that's launching alongside the Edge of Fate?
Yeah, Ben has been working on this space for the team for a while now, so I'm going to kick this one to him.
All right, so there's a season with Edge of
We're
Fate.
trying to make any time the best time to hop into Destiny.
Hell yeah.
One of the
I like
ways
to
we
hear
want to
that.
do that is we want to invest in events that are like accelerating the game and enhancing every part of the game, but also bringing new cool stuff. And actually, we've been working on this so long, we actually have some new cool stuff coming before the Edge of Fate.
It's a special little treat.
Yeah, special
Wait,
little
what?
treat. So
What?
this Friday, you can play a little event, maybe you've heard of it, called Heavy Metal.
Oh, okay.
Which is Tanks vs. Briggs, a new PvP mode. It's super fun.
Oh, okay.
I would kind of wish I was playing it right now, I'm not going to lie. But the thing that people at home don't know is we have a new reward. That's a unique thing in Destiny if you invest in this event, if you go and play it. And it is a free-to-play event. So this reward is free to play. It is a new combat vehicle that goes in your Sparrow sled, combat Sparrow, if you will, called the
What?
Griffin. And this is a really cool, like, combat-ready vehicle you can take anywhere you can summon a Sparrow. You can summon it and use it to fight your enemies and just have a really good time. And there's some
That's
really
cool. So,
cool,
like, summonable
there's some really
pike,
cool build
essentially?
crafting things.
I was
with
about to say the
this,
same thing.
vehicle that I don't want to spoil right now. Let people discover, but I'm super excited.
Skimmers for movement, pikes
We're
for...
going to ride those skimmers
or,
forever.
Well, I
Yep.
mean, we've been saying like,
Real,
what was
Andy,
it?
real.
Skimmer is Flash and the Griffin is Splash.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
That
So it's
joke
called the
quota
Griffin.
has been met.
That's
We
what I
got to
reference.
get one in.
Absolutely. yeah.
Holy shit.
but-
I need to hit up the.
Like, you've got more for
Where's
us,
the
don't you?
fun
Where's
house?
the fun house?
You know, like I just
I
said,
gotta let 'em
there's
know.
more events that we're making. There's one that's going to happen right after
They
the launch of
mentioned
Edge of
you.
Fate.
They
It's
mentioned you
called
in
Arms Week.
Destiny 2.
And it's a one-week-long event, and you're going to be focusing on one weapon archetype in Arms Week whenever it comes around.
Arms Week.
And this one is going to give you a new legendary weapon of that type. It's gonna
I thought he was about to say
volatile mods that
exotic.
are there for the week that are going to be super interesting and fun to play with, and some focusing you can do. But you know, there is a problem when you say this event is going to be about weapons and about using them.
Yeah, you got to have a place to test all that out.
Right, and
Yeah,
so I mean, I've been doing that in EDZ this whole time. I don't know about
Sure.
the rest of you,
Those poor dregs.
right?
Yeah.
But there is a new way now. We have a new feature, a long-requested feature that is being added to the game with Arms Week. It is the shooting range. And the shooting range is being added to
Let's
the
go.
tower. It is a now
Let's
full
go.
addition to the game with the launch of Arms Week. We're not taking it away.
Let's
You can
go.
there and you can try out
Punch you in the face.
everything in your kit, everything about
Punch you
your
in the
build,
face.
with all sorts of simulations of different kinds of enemies and situations.
Let's
and
fucking
shield
go.
damage
Right,
numbers.
right,
Oh, you get
It's
summon
like, you
champs
got a scoreboard.
too?
You got a scoreboard
For you
right there.
and your fire team.
Yeah, your whole raid team can go down in
I'm
shooting
Rick.
range and try out. Like, see exactly
Double
how well you can
fire
do
solar
for
hand
some kind of
cannon
boss
that's
at this
scorching?
range or
I was
with
gonna
those
say, yeah,
strategy.
who can do most of the damage, right?
Yeah, well,
You
you're
can
probably
build
gonna
up
know.
Scorch?
We have a rally flag. It's not just
I'm
a
Brick.
shooting range. Like you can go beyond the firing line and use your abilities too.
Oh,
Yeah, you totally can. And like, if you wanted to, you could even take in Prismatic and pop Transcendence and try
Oh
that
my
out.
God.
And, you know, well, I think the reason why
my God.
we're not seeing that right now is because it's a Titan.
Yeah, it's a good soldier.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait.
Standing on that firing line.
Yeah, staying on the firing line.
All about building that line.
Solar
of sight.
Titan, please tell me
A
that
lot
you
of
got
theory
something
crafters
for
are
Solar
gonna have to go ahead
Titan.
and have some upheavals to their Google Docs.
that's gonna be trash.
It'll be a really good tool. Like as we're adding all of these different systems with gear tiering and all of that, you can go in and check those damage numbers in real time. Like how do my
Try to
stats
notice
change?
something
How are
different.
these different gear bonuses going to affect my gameplay? You can see it in the tower now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about weapons,
Oh yeah,
You got
well
one more thing, right?
Yeah, I know. There's one more thing. I know
Yeah.
you're excited. So you know, there's more events. Of course, there's more events, and the holiday events are coming up. Where Solstice is right around the corner.
It's
as well.
summertime, right?
It's
Yes.
summertime. Summertime is Solstice time in Destiny 2, and Solstice has some really cool twists and such that we're planning. But I'm not going to talk about that right now.
You
I
said
want to show
Solstice,
you
and I
all
thought dawning.
the new hollow foil treatment we have for Solstice weapons. So
Hollow
here we go.
foil.
This is the hollow foil treatment for Solstice
Yo.
in 2025.
You're-
It is
so
it's
good.
amazing.
What is
Every time I
that?
look at it. It's,
Yeah.
it
What is that
new
perk?
ocean.
Yeah, that new perk.
And
What is that
the
perk?
line, yeah, it's
Also, it has the
ocean
Huckleberry.
on a gun.
Wait, it's the Tex Mechanica.
It's beautiful. I
Fuck
love
yeah.
It. And
A Tex
any
Mechanica
kind
weapon
of,
that's good. A Tex
weapon
Mechanica
props
weapon that's
for
good.
this event can have a hollow foil.
Yeah,
no
so
matter
it
what
could be
the
tier 1 or tier 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
any weapon can have all of those.
Oh my
the,
God,
like,
imagine
the
what the
tier 5
Solstice is
hollow
gonna
foil,
look
like, you know, like that's
Not
gonna be a
Solstice.
chase.
You fucked me up. The
Our
Dawning is
other
gonna look
events
like.
Yeah.
also have hollow foils.
Yeah, like Arms Week you're talking
Arms Week
about.
will have its own hollow foil treatment. Like we're every event, a major event we have will have a hollow foil treatment. The holidays will have their own kind of special one, but yeah, Arms Week will have their hollow foil drops that you can farm as well.
super exciting. No, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to have way too much stuff
When did they
to
say
chase down,
Orange
so
Week was?
appreciate you guys putting
It's
all the
gonna
hard
be,
work
I think,
in, obviously, for
the
that.
start
But
of
I believe we've got
thinking
one more
about
thing.
Edge of Fate.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking
Okay,
a lot
okay, that
about
makes
here are the
sense.
free updates coming to Destiny, the portal, a bunch of different stuff, Edge of Fate, but we also have another expansion, and we need Allison back on the couch to talk about
Right,
it.
yeah, Allison.
So wait, are they going
She's
to talk about both
awesome.
Yeah,
expansions?
no, we've got something very exciting, and so
I
once
think
again,
mine.
Allison,
The
thanks for taking the
goat!
time to join us today. We appreciate it.
Of course. I'm so excited to be the one more thing.
Yeah, it's a tradition around here, so we're glad that you could obviously go ahead and lead us into this one. But, as Dylan mentioned, we've talked about the Edge of Fate, but this is the first year we're going to be doing 2 expansions over the course of a year. Can you tell us a little bit about Renegades?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to have a dedicated reveal for Renegades in September alongside our major update, Ashen Iron. But earlier we were talking about how sometimes our formulas can constrain us from experimenting and innovating. And so
So
in that
July to
spirit,
September is
Renegades
the
is going to be very
timeframe.
different from the Edge of Fate. What I can tell you, and we'll talk plenty about it later, is that we're going to be experimenting and innovating with activities, with social mechanics, and more. But more importantly, I want to talk about our inspiration. And so I have to kind of tee it up first. So Renegades is going to be a Destiny, definitively Destiny expansion. This is part of the Fate saga, and it's going to push it forward in important ways and introduce characters that we're going to spend time with for years to come. It is an essential Fate saga story, and it's an homage to a universe that has inspired Bungie from the start.
This is Star Wars.
It's a universe that all of us here on the couch grew up with, as well as everyone else at the studio.
It's fucking
and
Star
millions
Wars.
of you back at home too. It is a peanut butter and combination, a peanut butter and chocolate combination
Bounty Hunter
inside
season,
of what we're making
please.
that could only be possible in the kind of world that we build here. And so I am absolutely thrilled to be able to give our first sneak peek at Destiny 2 Renegades.
Let's take a look.
Not actual gameplay.
Nobody talk to me. Nobody talk to me.
Oh my god.
Do not talk to me.
Oh my god.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Oh my god.
Fuck off.
Oh my god.
Fuck off.
Okay, Robbie, what did we just see?
Yeah, so that's Renegades, which is coming out this December. And
That's
to really
on my
drive it home
birthday.
here, Renegades is a one-of-a-kind Destiny experience, right? And just like we on the Destiny team have taken inspiration from other genres like dark fantasy or cosmic horror, Renegades takes the space western vibe and aesthetic that is Star Wars, and it puts it through that Destiny lens. And ultimately, it's created a new lawless frontier that is emerging within Seoul. And so,
can't become a bounty
we're so
hunter.
excited to show Renegades off a little bit today and to be talking about it more in the future in September alongside the free major update with Ashen Iron. But right now, today, we're focused on Rite of the Nine and what's right around the corner with the Edge of Fate.
Absolutely. No, I heard a lot of calendars get marked just now on September, but
Hopefully.
no, super excited to share more of that in the future. But that actually leads us to the conclusion of today's show, which again, we covered a lot.
There's been a lot today.
Yeah, this has been a
Like
big
a few
show,
things.
Yeah.
honestly. No, we went through a lot of it. So let's go ahead and quickly double check. We obviously went through, and the Year of Prophecy, pardon me, is going to go ahead and kick off on July 15th. And this kicks off a brand new multi-year Fate saga and our new focus on the core hobby of Destiny. The first
Renegades.
expansion, The Edge of Fate, is going to be launching again on July 15th, as I noted, with its raid launching on July 19th.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
So you're going through a lot of information. We
July
already covered
19th,
that, but
that's
you
4
can't
days.
just sneak in a raid date. We have a new raid coming
Yeah.
with the expansion, July 19th. We're going to have a bunch of blogs. We're going to have the rules, regulations, all that kind of stuff for our raid race.
Of course.
We invite everybody to come in, try to go for that world first title. And yeah, I mean, just stay tuned for more details. We're not going to spoil anything. It's a raid. We got to keep it secret.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
Everybody
actually
mark
do
your calendars.
explore mode for Rage.
Bungie.net is the place to go ahead and learn more. And again, follow our social media channels. Do us all a favor. So in addition to that, again, as we've noted, Ashen Iron, our first free major update, will be launching on September 9th. Renegades, Very exciting. We'll be launching in December. And then keep an eye again on our social channels. We'll provide all the updates once they're available. But as far as today goes, the Edge of Fate and the entire Year of Prophecy pre-orders are available starting right now. Now, pre-ordering for starters, the Ultimate Edition will go ahead and unlock the New Land Beyond.
New Land
Beyond.
That exotic sniper.
Super
I
exciting.
can't wait, man.
I can't wait, same, honestly. That'll be unlockable in addition to several other goodies. And also, we've also got a collector's edition that'll be
Oh my
available.
God.
You can see here on
I'm
screen
poor
that
right
we can
now and I
do
wanna
a
kill myself.
A lot of very cool stuff, including this cool statue that you may have noticed here that's been sitting with us on stage. This is one that you can go ahead and add to your collection as well, but that's not all that's in there. Is there, Allison?
We got the writing team got a little excited on this one. We put a lot of lore goodies into this collector's edition. So like that weird metal thing, that weird envelope. Boy, weird. Wonder what's up with that.
Just decorative
You should
points?
probably read it. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna do a dramatic reading as
I need
usual.
to be shot dead.
Yeah, it's
really
Oh, yes, yes, right after this.
Count me in. And then again, too, as far as today goes, Rite of the Nine. This is the essential prologue to the Edge of Fate, and like all of our events moving forward, is going to be a free to all players. So make
That's
sure and go ahead and check
really
that
good.
out when that arrives. And before the show wraps up, make sure and stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating our good friend Sammy Cat as well. So
Sammy
go
Cat.
ahead and give her a follow. Tell her we said hello in chat. Pardon me. If you have any Twitch Prime subs or anything like that, go ahead and do us a favor. Drop it over there and check out her stream. She's going to be having a good time. But that concludes it for us here today. So for starters, huge thanks to my teammates here for joining me.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, yeah. Robbie, Allison, Dylan, of course. There we go. We got Ben, and of course, Mr. Dave Samuel. Thank you all.